Okay, we're going to do shoulders today, so I'm going to stand a little closer to the camera so that we can see all the movements. And this is the last in the series of celebrating and honoring and being a little bit in awe of our certain body parts and how they move and what they allow us to do. So we're going to start with a shoulder stretch where one hand up by the face, and then we're going to pull it out. And stretch that shoulder and then lift this hand up. And noticing when we're talking about shoulders, we're going to come across this way. We're talking shoulders, but also all these muscles and fascia that support it. And then open up. And I like to do the stretch this way. It makes it easier for me to see and feel. And then you stretch out. And then this way, we stretch out. Good, and we're going to turn that into a shoulder hug. And stretch, so we just give ourselves a hug and a little rub on the shoulders, warming them up. Then we're going to sink in and open up with a big version of heart to sky. And then come back down. Rub those shoulders. And then lift up and open. Do two more. And open. And then breathe it in. And last one. Open. Good. So shoulder mobility is really important, and this one's pulling weeds. That just helps us open up the space so the energy flows. So we sink down toward the floor, toward that big toe and up. We often do this with a different intention, but today we just want to focus on feeling the movement of the shoulder, noticing how it moves in this direction. Up and release. Grabbing some energy, and it's like we are pulling weeds and releasing what we don't need. And breathe. Let's do two more and then we'll switch sides. And down. Staggered stance, let that other hand go out, hand behind the back. Move that shoulder, and then lift. And up. And breathe. Letting go of what we don't need. Oiling these shoulder joints. And celebrating all the different ways that they can move. And breathe. Two more. Good. And then let's put our hands, both hands behind the back. And we're going to open up the heart center by pulling the shoulder blades together, which really opens that up, and then look to the sky in whatever version of a back bend feels good. And breathe, release, butterfly those wings a little, and then pull back, shoulder blades together, which pulls the elbows back, opening up the chest and heart. And breathe. Release. Let's do butterfly one more time. And then pull back and open. Widening the stance, we want to move those shoulders in a slightly different direction. So we're going to sink in and come across and lift with seaweed in the ocean. And breathe. Opening up the space around the joint allows energy to flow through it. And when energy flows, blood flow follows. And that keeps the joints refreshed and renewed. And breathe. And two more, one on each side. Last one. Good. Now we're going to move the shoulders. We're going to do this still in the wide stance. So we take chicken fingers and tuck them in here, and then we're going to lift up and open. Sinking down and open. Long-term objective is to keep this elbow and upper arm close to the head, but obviously don't do that if it hurts. And breathe. Two more in this direction. And last one. Good. And we're going to come in, same position, and now we're going to open, really focus on the back as we stretch. And move. And open. And stretch. And last set. Good. And now, sometimes those shoulders are just stabilizers. So we're going to do this IGing opening, working on all the tendons and the muscles. So we lift up, pull it in, and then stretch it out. And shoulders stabilize, allowing us to do that. We flip the palms and pull it in. Flip the palms and push it out. Bend it. Drop it. So we lift up, pull it in, and then stretch it out, palms to the earth. Bring it in, palms go up and out and hold. Bring it in, flip and straighten and hold. Palms to the earth, shoulders stable, bring that in, push it down. Lift it up with a little tension, pull it in, reach it out. Bring it in, flip the palms, and to the sky. Feel feeling the shoulders stable, muscles, joints moving, muscles and fascia holding everything in place, but not too tightly. Gently moving through. Let's do one more set. In, out. Lift to the sky. Pull it in. Good. Now we're going to move the shoulders in this direction, back and forth. So we're going to start here at the heart center and sink into the quad. So the quad sinks and we go out. Then we bring it in and sink back and up. Sink and out. Sink and back. And breathe. Out. And then back. Up. And back. And out. And back. Let's do two more. Widening the stance a little. Our shoulders play a big part in punching with a fierce gaze and really focusing. So often we focus on what's there and make it be about focus, but this time we're going to feel that shoulder move through its full range of motion. So sink in and then gather up, pull it back, punch out. Good. Feel how strong and powerful the shoulder can feel. And breathe. Like with all our body parts, we take our shoulders for granted until they hurt. So all of these moves help keep them from hurting. And breathe. And sink. And pull. Two more, one on each side. Good. Another direction that the shoulders move is they move up overhead. So we're going to start with between heaven and earth. Just going up and down. And breathe. And down. Now stretch up and feel the stretch. And then release. Feel those shoulders settle. And down. And up. And down. And breathe. Now we want to add to this, so we want to go up and then twirl and come down. And then roll it out, bring it down. Inhale, exhale. And release, and up, and let's go 2 more. Last one. Then both hands come down. We're going to raise the bubbling springs. Another way to get our shoulders up above, but again, focus on the shoulders. This one we're going to do with our fingers interlaced. So we're really bringing energy up, rolling over, and then up on the toes. Stretch. Then come down and side bend. And even in this, notice what happens to the shoulders. And breathe. And release. Up. On the toes. Holding overhead. Come down on the heels. Now just bring those elbows back just the tiniest bit and see what happens as we side bend. And we side bend. And then this time, we're going to side bend and roll out to the front and up. Side bend. Keep hinging, rolling. And one more in this direction. And release. And we'll do that set going in the other direction. Up. On the toes. Side bend. Side bend. Side bend and hinge forward. Up and down and breathe. And one more time around. Good. And let's just force a little bit of opening by really holding. The one time we want to move our shoulders up is in this robot move, where shoulders up and hold and tighten everything. And then deep release. Big inhale, tighten everything. And really open up space with this forceful exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last one. Bring it in, up. And drop the shoulders. Good. Twisting is something else that the shoulders help us do. So we just, as we're winding into a little relaxation, just feel all the ways in this simple move of water waves, all the ways the shoulder is rotating. When you turn and spiral your palms, your shoulders move. When there's good mobility, they're moving away from the spine as you twist. And breathe. And relax. And feel them soften now and settle. And then we're going to move them in yet another direction. So we're going to put one hand up behind our back, one hand overhead. And we're going to pull the swords, really thinking about keeping everything back. So switch and up and breathe and up and pulling those swords. before we turn, this one we're going to then move and we're going to just twist a little, feeling the opening even a little more, and then back and switch arms. And then twist. And then switch. Rotate. And then release. And rotate. And release. One more to each side. Rotate. And release. And last rotation. Last release. Good. We'll have to follow that one with Dragon Plays with the magic sword. So here we go. We're going to get full rotation. Grab the sword hilt and come across and then up and around. Opening up that shoulder, keeping it really slow. And while we're moving the shoulder, we're building our protective energy. And breathe. And up. Just focus, sending a little love and gratitude for the shoulder that moves in so many directions, for the muscles that help, for the fascia that holds things in place, and for this joint that's opening up and allowing energy to flow through the body, through the arms, and through the head. 2 more on this side. And bring that back in. Switch to the other side. Grasping the sword, coming around, moving. And up. Noticing how one shoulder is doing one thing and the other shoulder is working in a different way. It really is quite miraculous when that happens. And breathe. Let's go 2 more. And then come back in. Just a couple rounds of pulling down the heavenly spirals all the way to the earth, surrounding ourselves with light and love. And up. And last one, only to the lower dantian, that lower abdomen. Bring the feet in. And then really drop the hips, drop the shoulders. Feeling all the extra space. Tuck the chin so the spine gets long. Close your eyes if you can. Just stand in gratitude for all the wonderful things that our shoulders allow us to do when they are moving fully and freely. How they're involved in dancing, walking, exercising, cooking, any of the crafts we do, any of the other sports. Think about tennis, basketball, baseball, lacrosse. Just send some smiles and gratitude to all the parts that are working and be in awe of how complicated and complex our shoulders are. Two more deep breaths. Find your way to stillness. Open your eyes, drop out your hands, step out your feet, move as you need to, and have a great week. This was good. Thanks for joining.